stories of what they need and what they want, and then run it to Vadim. Vadim's always here. I just
even
got
if I'm
back.
not, let's even if I'm not, let's use common sense, right? Okay, what is they asking for? If they're like, oh, I have some very valuable secret information. Damn the fuck off. It's probably going to be something stupid unless they actually have something valuable. They'll hint at what their business is. They'll talk about it. And they're not going to be like, oh, it's only for Wave Crystal alone. Fuck off with that shit. You know? Everyone and everyone's brother says that. Everyone always is like, oh, I have something very private for Wavecrest. And then half the damn time it turns out to be like, I'm looking for information on this guy who did this thing the other day. Like, fuck off with it. We're not like here to sell people secrets.
No, yeah, that's for the Kingsleys.
I know are we here to help them exact revenge on somebody unless they're a very close ally of ours. But there are very few of those kind of people. So if some man comes here asking for our help in some kind of trivial matter and killing their whoever, it's not what we do here. We are entertainment first. Business is very important first, and trading and so on. We're not hitmen. We're not mercenaries for hire and so on.
Another shit. Speaking of hitmen and shit like that. Tonight, 2 people walked in with their weapons in hand.
One of them I think was my friend Paul.
I know.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
As soon as I saw him with his weapon out, I sorted it. I took his weapon off.
One moment. Yeah, but at the same flip of a coin, security needs to be on that. What the hell was that?
Not just you, it's anyone with a yellow armband. Anyone who runs security needs to spot that shit.
But
they don't have a yellow armband, why the fuck is there a weapon on them?
Can I just point something out? Well, thank you. I'll pop that on a sec. Can I say the gate was open for a long time and people just wandering in like it was fucking open all hours? Just saying.
Yeah, I know. I watched. Security was doing jack shit about it too.
So if you're gonna be security, what you gotta do is you gotta take accountability, responsibility. It's not only being a man; it's being a part of a big. This is a big business. And if you find that the gate's open and you're offended, shut it, lock it, secure it, and keep continuing your job. You're doing a great job. Introspectively, you're doing great, and I like you. And I might dance at your wedding someday. But we just one day at a time, all right? All right. Nikki, go ahead.
That's great, yeah, thank you.
I think it's a bad idea to have the gate closed at all times. It's pretty much exactly what they did at Novi Sober, and it destroyed their business and made everyone hate them.
Can I just,
we're not closing it in the sense of nobody can come in. It's okay, if you're coming in, you need to acknowledge rules first, then you go in.
It's like a grading system.
Everyone was talking about the door. Everyone was talking.
We got those nets on the gate. Maybe take the top net off when work's business, and then you can see.
Well, 1 minute.
They can see you. You can see them.
Let Mickey speak real quick. He said something he wanted to say. Right now, we're having a very constructive, opinionated decision on what we believe is firmly right. Mickey, what are your thoughts on how the downfall of fucking Novi, whatever the hell? It was a shithole last time I seen it, and that was after it was. I know, but here's the
thing. Pretty much everybody that went in was told to fuck off or be shot. All right, and that's
not
the way you want to do things.
We don't give
people let people come in and mingle.
Yeah, exactly. But we just have to make sure there's a very stringent checkpoint to make sure, 1, they're not going to kill anybody, 2, they don't have ill intentions, and 3, they are capable of entering and not out of urgency or like insanity. There was a guy who was
everyone that came in today was escorted in. Nobody just came in of their own free will.
I got to crack down with security.
I think only one issue I had with the gate was. Eventually the gate was left unmanned, and I believe if we have no guests coming through, the gate needs to remain manned with at least one person by the gate to say hello to anybody comes through.
Tom C.
I believe that was my fault, Mr. Waycrest. I do apologize.
Yes, I did hire you for that specific purpose as well.
I don't know if it's good for business, but I have a little idea that we could do to maybe stop that. People running with guns in and stuff. Maybe like have a security guy on the gate. Switch out, cycle the duty and stuff and whatnot. Have like a barrel, like a 10 or something for like long guns, so people can't really bring in the big bad firearms and start crap. You know what I mean?
Unfortunately, that would draw people the wrong way and probably cause more issues than it would fix.
Yeah, I guess.
Our
I was
only
thinking
hard
of-
rule is no grenades. If you see anyone with a grenade, you confiscate that shit. They're not allowed to walk in these compounds with a grenade.
Right, Steam.
Exactly.
Okay.
No,
I'm
frag
gonna say
grenades.
something now, right? Yeah.
Uh,
A friend of
you
mine
tell
was
what
here
happened to
earlier
me,
on,
Vadim?
and Mickey could, agree with
1
this.
minute,
He's over here
Jamal. Let's
walking.
let the man
He
speak.
showed me something he found, which was an old World War II grenade. He got it out of his pack and he showed me. I took it off him. I got it off him, and I had it until he left. But he had it on him, and no one knew he had it on him.
Yeah, unless you go
So-
frisk them. You can only do so much. You
All right.
I
tell them
don't
what to
think
do.
frisking
Yeah.
people is going to be good.
Yeah,
Don't
okay,
frisk you.
okay. One minute, guys. Is that Foxtrot?
Nope, Walker.
Walker.
Oh, guess
Okay,
switch
you're
it
one of
around.
the. Okay, so hey, you might want to. He's right here. You might want to convey the message about the restructuring of order and what's to come, especially with Vadim. He's what's going to come with all of us. He hasn't been filled in. He needs to be filled in.
Okay, so you want the too long didn't read?
Yeah, let's give him the TDLR. Why not?
Alright. So straight up, I last night just watched. That's all I did. You can ask Jamal, you can ask Mr. Smith. I just watched the chaos unfold. Last night was a mess. Security had door open the whole time. Okay, whatever. We could talk about how we want to handle that, but people are coming in. 2 of them came in with weapons still in hand. No one was talking about what the rules should be if they enter the compound. We had a couple crazy people coming in who, one of them sounds like just by the flip of a fucking apple can go batshit insane and kill people. That's not very good. Like, don't get me wrong, we're nice people. We want people to come here, but at the same time, what the fuck are we running, a loony bin? Alright, next thing, every asshole tonight was straight up saying, oh, where's Mr. Wavecrest? I need to talk to Mr. Wavecrest. Everyone has something for Mr. Wavecrest? Bullshit. If it's important enough for Mr. Wavecrest, let's feed it up the chain first before it goes to Mr. Wavecrest. Every asshole, Tom, Dick, and Harry comes in here and goes like, oh, hey, I have the most secretive, valuable information. I need to talk to Wavecrest. Or, oh, I'm looking for some asshole, Tom, Dick, or Harry who shot at me the other night. Like, fuck off with these people. Half these damn people, they can be routed through security or someone else before they go straight to the top.
Well, you
It's
know
stupid
me,
as shit.
Mr. Vadim. Whenever shit like that
I-
usually happens, I go to you first.
Well, what we're trying to say is we're trying to condense it down to the restructuring orders. Security will bring a lot of things from the gate to us. We can either, validate or constitute the worth of it and bring it to Mr. Waycrest, but there needs to be some sort of order.
Yep.
I don't want people to look as a, whipping boy, be some whipping boy with just an armband. You guys all matter, but we have to make sure it all matters. At the end of the day, Waycrest is being exposed every singular time. And if that happens, he could get potentially hurt. Do you know how easy it is? You ask for
I believe
Waycrest,
security needs to
he
deal with
comes
shit
out.
themselves.
I believe security
Some
needs to enact a few things, but they also have to have a little bit of order. And that's why we're trying to catch you up with what's going on.
Yep, I'm following.
Yeah, last night,
I understand.
shit.
Yeah, last night was an absolute shit show. There was a corner here with nutballs all over the place, acting like fucking juggalos, running around saying it was like a goddamn cowboy scene. You could walk in at any 5 minutes and they're talking about, I'll shoot you in the head. No, I'll shoot you in the head. What the
That
hell?
shit needs to be
It's
cracked down real fucking fast with beanbags. if
really
need be.
quick.
There should be no threats of like that kind of shit. None.
And if they want to reconvene together, tell them to go outside and either A, handle it, or 2, resolve it. Because you can't resolve it in the middle of it's bad for business. Someone gets killed here, it's bad for business. You guys are going to know that once you realize the jobs are going to start thinning out pretty quick. I feel like security is coming down. Good. But that's what we're trying to say.
Mr.
Alright,
Fox,
now-
about time you join us. We've been looking for you.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I had to take another massive shit. I'm sorry.
Alright, who wants to give him the TLDR?
I'll do it this time. All right, Mr. Fox, and everybody has already heard this. We are restructuring the system here. There's a ladder to go through, a chain of command. The lowest
Yes, sir.
form would be anyone below head of security. After head of security, it would be Vadim and Mr. Smith. I bring any attention to them, Mr. Fox. If someone is asking for me specifically, go through the proper routes
Yes,
as
sir.
well. Get information out of them and see why it's so important they need to speak to Mr. Waycrest. I have other things on my plate. I'm quite busy, and I don't need to be exposed to every single Tom and Harry out there.
Understood.
One last thing. One thing about that. At the same time, he's potentially being exposed to danger. So let's reduce the effort, make sure the people really worth a damn. They go to Mr. Waycrest, not these little Dick and Harrys running around Cherno, God knows where. You know, these are random people. So we got to make sure Mr. Waycrest is protected.
I agree.
All right.
Yes, 100%.
And I approve of you. I approve of your
And I would also
actions.
say, your job as security is to interrogate people. If people want to come in and they have something really fucking important, you should take them aside and talk to them if need be. You don't need to, like, ask them who their fucking grandmother is and pull teeth from them or bullshit shit like that. But make sure what the fuck they want to bring up is actually of value. If they're like, hey, I'm looking for some asshole who shot at me the other day, or I'm looking to get revenge on some dick, they'll go fuck off and put the dick up the dick.
Yeah, put the dick up your dick.
All the way up the dick.
Right.
Also,
All the way to the urethra.
there was an issue, Mr. Fox, with men with guns in hands inside the facility, inside our courtyard. We can't have people be walking around with guns in their hand if they're not one of our own security guards. And we need, I think, it's the rule about security now. If you're working as security, you have to wear an armband. I don't give a fuck if it's gonna cramp your style.
Yes,
you have to be wearing one.
Mr.
No armband, no gun.
Is there a possibility of maybe getting on the gate there, maybe a fence next to it, some sort of podium to stand on so we can look over the gate? Maybe to see anybody outside, because at the moment we've got is on the right hand side.
There fucking was
there,
one there, but somebody removed it.
We need to put a proper tower there.
It was fucked up.
Hey, we're gonna put a proper tower, all right? You heard it from management. We're getting an actual tower, all right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We have
Nice.
enough hands here today
No.
to get a lot accomplished. Perhaps we can spend the next part of the day until the cars
In
are
security.
in better condition to building some more stuff.
Yeah. Do not forget, that area that Max and all them built is not perfectly private. That back little area, yeah, they kind of want to have that for a little like farm area inside their little sleeping quarters. But that little security post there is still the same code as that gate and every other gate, so that security can get inside there and take grenades from people if need be, put them in the box, and handle the shit there. It's still an operational tower that you can enter.
Yes, sir.
Where do we
about to
put
say we need to
grenades?
get some
Because
boxes.
I don't know where that
There
is.
should be a box in there. If there's not, we'll have to put a box in there.
As well
There's supposed to be
is
a
the
box.
only gate people should be entering from is the front gate. The side gate is not for guests of any sort to go through unless they receive my permission expressly. Also, another thing
That
I
is a
noticed.
work gate, yeah.
Another thing I noticed, I went back to this gate that was left open. Our cars could have been stolen. I closed it twice last night.
So you see what we're trying to do here. We're all trying to uniquely integrate cooperative bordels, all right?
Yes.
We have to work together.
Why don't we have, instead of like, I know I'm on a gate and all that, but how about having 2 people on the gate there, 2 people back here?
Too rigid, because that relies on us having exact numbers every night, and B, that keeps
And we
people in
can't
one
have
spot.
that.
Yeah, we need to keep somewhat flexible in dealing with groups, because if there's like 6 or 7 people near
Have
the
them
doctor,
patrol.
then we just kind of open up the courtyard. I'd say yes, have people patrol around, but I would not have someone just locked to a single spot.
The worst thing that could happen is if
I'm locked to a single spot.
I
I'm just saying, look, it's not a problem, but I'm saying, I'm going to be stuck on there, and that's great, I don't mind that, I've done it for years, that sort of thing, but what I'm saying is, if you get a group turn up, you've got one person there on the main gate, that one person's got control of group 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, and that's not easy.
Agreed.
Trust me.
I would like to see,
Especially
personally, in a
if
perfect
they're
world,
carrying fucking weapons.
If
They will be.
if a group shows up like that, I would suggest tell them one moment, pardon me, and just receive some extra security just in case. If they get butthurt about not being let in because they've come in force or heat or numbers, tell them it is just a security precaution here to keep things nice and safe. It is not them personally; it's any group that would show up. If they take it personally, they can leave. They don't have to come in here. This is an establishment for good times and so on.
Well, I understand, yeah.
in a perfect world, I'd say one person for every 3 at most.
Yeah, it's a good rule there.
1 to 3.
I was gonna
Yeah,
add
that's
on to
cool.
the conversation. Radios need to be a big thing now.
Yeah, we need everyone to have radios, to be honest with you. It's a big problem when someone goes missing, we don't know where they are. That I
Radios are
agree
shit,
with.
though. There's so much interference with them.
Fucker. We could turn them off if we're not using them, but if you do stray somewhere else, which happens very often.
Yeah, so I guess that's another thing. If you're straying off and like we have a lot of people here, you need to tell myself or Mr. Smith, and if he and I are somehow not here, then tell Wave Crest. But yeah, like very little accountability. Like it's okay if you're running off because it's like a slow day like this, like we're not doing anything. Okay, whatever. But at night when we have lots of people coming and going and shit's going down, you need to be like, hey, yeah, I'm fucking off to go jerk off in the corner. Okay, cool. At least I know what I'm jerking off.
Hang on that one for Dean, right? Mate, surely if one of us is going to leave the compound, like, on a jolly or whatever, they should let someone know. Because, like...
That is what I just said.
Yeah, okay.
On top of that,
right.
I mean, the only outlier, the only true outlier is Tom C. He goes around and scavenges, though, so he proves his merit.
And Yamal, too. Yamal's not
Jamal.
skeptic either. He doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. They're free spirits, and they go and scavenge and do whatever they do, and that's fine, but we need order here, and we need to make sure credibility's here. Because eventually we want to credibly enhance high payoff wins. That's what we want. We want to become big winners, all right?
What is it, Jamal?
Focus on what we want.
See.
Vadim and I ran an outpost for a long time. And if you guys don't take care of it, I'll be more than happy to show you the bullet holes in the front of my body from somebody thinking that they could just take whatever they wanted. And we didn't have security. We relied on the honor system.
Yeah, those were dark days.
Yeah, well, it was crazier days. This is a little more refined. There's an established
Yes,
culture and society within this business.
Can I just
Go ahead.
ask something, please?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I know I'm asking a lot of questions, Mr. Waycrest, but it's stuff I don't know about. So, you know, like if people are leaving here, going out on scavenging and that, and I don't know them, and they come back, and it's just me here, right? And they want to come in, and I don't know them, what do I do? Because
So, straight
Don't
up,
let 'em in.
we only have 2 scavengers. This guy and Tomsy. Everyone else should be wearing an armband or be the doctor.
Oh, and
right,
our
that's
courier.
Jamal, right?
Or who?
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
I'm the only black guy
Oh.
here, man.
It's the
Whoa,
only
wait,
black...
slow,
Okay,
slow, slow. Who else? Who's the third?
Mr. Wickhurst,
Courier?
what's the courier's name? I
His
forgot.
name's Murdoch.
Oh, yes, Murdoch.
He's a runner.
Yeah, we have him.
Is he officially a scavenger or is he just a messenger boy?
He's
a
a
messenger.
He's a runner messenger.
Does he
Here
have
you go,
access
man.
to
This is
the
what I look
codes,
like.
or-
Not yet. He's hasn't
what I
earned
look
them just yet.
Okay, so he hasn't earned his position in this place yet. He shouldn't be creeping around in here. Straight up. If he doesn't have the codes, he doesn't belong.
Right,
here.
He's welcome. He's welcome in
What
the
are the
courtyard.
names?
He's not welcome in the back part yet. But he's
What are the names?
Murdoch Flint. Murdoch Flint.
Yeah, it's like Flint or something.
He's doing a very good job so far, and he's almost done his keep here. I sent him on another run to Pavlovo, informing the people that unfortunately we can't do delivery until conditions improve for the vehicles. But so far, I think this meeting is going on very well. I'm glad everybody has many questions, and if you have a question, please bring it up. I would like to get them answered and everybody on the same page, especially for the big fight
Yeah.
this Friday. It's Mr. Smith.
And one big thing. Well, let me say something real quick. If you ever have questions that are beyond your prerogative or beyond your, your understanding of what's going on, just bring it to the head of security. And then if they can't figure it out, bring it to us. If we can't figure this out, we will bring it to Waycrest. But what we want to do is minimize exposure of our leader, because eventually his name's going to get so notorious and big, he's going to be worth a big prize to people. So we got to make sure to minimize exposure to the boss.
Yeah, I
It's
agree
that
with you.
simple.
agree.
On that one. Yeah.
100%.
That's what it's
You know,
coming down to. Vadim
No, Mr. Smith.
is a very good leader. But
I used to work on
going
doors back in London, mate, right? And the manager at a crew I worked with, a firm I worked with, right? He was always a target from other firms. They'd come up, and they'd have a ruck, and we'd have a row, and we'd have a fight, and he was after him. And it's the same with Mr. Waycrest here. It's always the top boy that they try and get. They don't bother with the fucking scumbags like us. It's always the top boy, because they take the top boy out. Firm's done in it.
Look at this shit.
What the
Silenced shotgun.
Well,
Hey, but
let's
Dave-
leave it to security. Come on,
That-
finish this. Tell us the story. No big deal.
When you get a moment. What
What
the
the
fuck?
fuck?
That's like fucking
That's
fire.
automatic fire.
All right, what's going on?
Security member on me now.
Fire.
All right, all
I don't like what
security,
they
hands
just
on
did.
deck. All security,
Mickey.
Foxtrotter Walker, get over there.
It's not a problem, but I want security with me now.
Yeah, this
Let's,
is what I
let's
want. Is I
take-
want to
let's take-
establish.
Rest of us inside the compound right here.
Hey, Mickey, you there? Mickey, you're doing God's work.
Mr. Incus, do you mind if I go rest?
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Take her easy, kid. That's what I just wanted. I wanted to make sure you're not exposed to, you know, the percentage is going to keep raising if people kept doing what they did and acknowledging only your existence. Is management's here to, you know, kind of be a deterrent to that.
I like that you brought this up. You've definitely made a big step here to improve the place. Mr. Smith, I'm glad that I did not demote you for your binging on mushrooms and so on. I believe
understand.
you've strengthened my resolve to believe that you are a very, very valuable asset here. And I'm glad that you're here and my friend as well.
I'm glad to be your friend and a business partner, but the biggest thing I was worried about is in the middle of this case. What's going on, Jamal?
How you doing?
Okay.
How you doing, Mr. Waycross?
Good morning, Max.
Morning. Now, I wanted to talk to you because essentially I felt like Vadim was being underutilized for his capacity of performance and resolve. He actually came over in that room and me and him had a sit down, a little quiet sit down, right in that room right there. And he was saying, you know, I'm just watching the chaos unfold. Nobody's told me anything. And I kind of had a little bulb go off and I'm like, we cannot just have this going on, especially with you being around, because it's going to eventually be your downfall, exposing you to all these low tier, bottom level of the rung people.
Christ.
Mickey, get your ass over to security. You did great.
Where the fuck is security? What are you talking about?
Well, they're over that way. There was a little bit of a talk, but yeah, just try to find security. There was a lot of shooting going off, and it was all silenced, automatics and shotguns.
All right.
Good on you, you cunt. I love that kid.
Yes,
But yeah, I just felt sad for Vadim. I felt like he was being underutilized, and I just wanted to put things together where you were minimizing exposure, and we could correlate management a little bit, you know, with a little bit more tact and professionalism to show that we are a layered and tiered, highly effective and structured organization. Something you would want. Something you need.
I appreciate
We're here
the,
for you.
the input, and I think this is going to make the dinner vice even stronger than it already is. And it's going to improve all the relations out there as well. I believe in to see that we mean business, we mean organization. They're not going to want it. They're going to think twice about fucking us over in the future, especially if we're very organized.
I want to be more organized and less bureaucratic. I want to know when they fucking step on our toes, and Mr. Waycrest toes, they get completely stepped on.
Yes. Let's climb this ladder. I want to see what's going on from up high.
Hey,
Sounds great. I don't have a binocular. Hey, what's going on, Jamal?
Hey, so, I mean, you guys know Vadim. You guys kind of trust Vadim.
Oh, I trust him entirely. I actually had this whole conversation because Vadim, I felt like he wasn't being utilized for the man he is and the person he is. I wanted to make sure he gets some actual involvement.
So we haven't had a chance to really talk about it, so I'm going to go ahead and let you know what our relationship is here. Whether or not you see the complexion match, Vadim is my brother, and if anybody hurts Vadim, I'll do whatever it takes to make sure that they pay for hurting him. And we go back a long, long way. So when it comes down to what I do here, Vadim says that I should run stuff for you guys, and that's great, and that's what I'll do. And anything that goes on in here, like I said to you yesterday, Mr. W, when it comes to internal stuff, none of my business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but there has to be involvement to a degree. And one more thing, I wanted.
Well, what I'm saying is I'm deaf. I'm deaf to anything that you say around me.
That makes sense, but I wanted to make sure Vadim is as involved, as important as me, Mr. Waycrest, head of security, anyone that has a pulse that cares about this company. I don't want exposure to Mr. Waycrest, and I don't want Vadim to feel left out. I felt like I could negotiate and negate all the negative things, annul them, and make them a little bit better for everybody. So there's a semblance of, you know, what's the word? Yeah, love. And, you know, I just wanted a little bit more solidarity between everybody. I don't want it to be where Vadim sits there and watches chaos and he has nothing but things to say, but he keeps saying he's going to watch it. I want to make sure we're all involved.
I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure that you guys understand what I'm doing here. Vadim is my brother.
Yeah.
If he asks me to do something, I'm going to be there for him, no matter what, all the way from beginning to end. But as far as everything else, I'm deaf. If you say something around me, it'll never go back to another person. That's how we were so successful in our outposts before.
Jamal, that is what we call an excellent and capable, confident person of the team. That's someone who's regarded in the highest respect and value. We care that you care about your brother, and we want you to make sure everything's noted and, you know, everything matters around here, all right? I care about you, and I care about your brother. And me and him go back, you know.
Hey, I get it, man. I get it. Look.
All right.
What he said he trusts me. You know, you can trust that.
And I can trust you. Just keep up the good performance, all right? And if you ever need to take it to HR, you come to me. I don't involve Waycrest with emotions or feelings. He's a very busy guy. I'm HR. There's a reason I do a lot of good here. There's a reason I'm known. It's because I like consolidating and making things possible. Consolidating difficult situations for better times.
Well, here's your trophy for the Friday night fight.
Perfect.
Very good.
That's
I'm gonna go
perfect.
grab
That
a
is.
crate for a second for the grenades.
Shit. All right, perfect.
Get it back on there.
All
If
right.
I can,
We found some more sheets, Mr. Waycrest.
Fight, I'll get a sword instead.
Let me get all this.
31st sheet
sounds
today.
great.
I get this thing out of the way, and we can make sure we get a good part of things going to our allies as soon as we can.
Yeah. I'm on a roll with these sheets, sir. I think I'm just a magnet to them.
Hey, Max, don't forget to talk to
Yeah.
head of security. There's a lot you missed, all right?
He just told me to talk to Mr. Waycrest. What's going on? Okay, I'll talk to both of them. Thank you.
No, I mean,
I don't know
it's
what's going
absolutely fine, but what we're trying to do is negate the risk and involvement of Mr. Waycrest. So, you know, talk to Vadim. If any head of security says go talk to someone, talk to Vadim and then work your way to
All right,
Mr. Waycrest.
so-
There's a structure in
so-
place.
First, I would like to say that's a mighty fine fucking gun vest you got on. That's fancy. I like that.
Yeah, I found it in Cherno. One of the guys, I think Foxtrot or Walker, they gave it to me. Appreciate it.
Damn
Second-
rocks everywhere.
Extra crate.
Second, what's your name? Maximus.
The name's John
Oh, my
John Smith. I
true
was
now,
helping
well,
run the
John.
show with
Thank you.
Mr.
Got it.
Yeah.
Nice
I
to
was
meet
probably
you.
talked. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
pleasure.
I've heard about you. Yeah, I've heard about you.
Yeah.
I should get a
Mr.
yellow armband to
Waycrest
put
and
on whenever
Vadim,
I'm
we all
going
started
security.
putting our dreams together. Each pulled the essential dream, but we're
Yeah, definitely.
putting it together.
So let me get this right from what I know. We're gonna leave Mr. Waycrest and yourself.
Do we have any yellow armbands around so I can put one on when I'm doing security stuff like I did back
Yes,
there?
yes, I appreciate that you wear one, Mr.
Don't let
Thompson.
him inside
say-
the.
Yeah, I'll put it on up when I have a gun up.
I
and
would say bring everything to head of
Do you
security
know where I
if you
some?
got questions.
Right.
Come over here. I need to talk to
Alrighty.
you. Now, what I
you
want
have
you
any,
to do
Mr.
is,
Waycrest?
if you have any major questions,
Thank you. I'll take one. I don't want to take too much.
There you go. I appreciate you putting one on. Makes it easy to recognize who's working with us.
Oh yeah, I will. I'll just put it on whenever I have a gun up. So, and you easy to recognize me. You can recognize my hat, my voice, easy. But yeah.
I've been hiring a lot of your security as well, so we need to make sure everybody knows who you are.
Night last night.
No problem. I get it. That's fine.
About
I
killing
understand,
each
man.
other. There was a whole lot of things going on. It was a fucking shit show.
Jesus.
So we just want to make sure things are a lot better.
You Mr.
Right?
Waycrest.
So just involve yourself
Alrighty.
with your security. Involve
All
yourself.
right, I'm fine. I'm
walk
fine.
your-
I just hurt myself a
Anyway,
little.
back to what I was saying.
I talked to one of the doctors there, and he passed it on to Wilson while I was there, and just said it was all right and they understand. Didn't really get a chance to talk to him himself.
Alright, so Too Long didn't read Wavecrest is he talked to the doc passed it on to Wilson, and Wilson says, okay.
Yes, next time we head there, we'll be going there as soon as the weather's better. For the roads, you've done a very extraordinary job, I believe. Come in here. Actually, I'll have the three of us discuss it. Come in here with me.
Also, there's been some doctor up in Cherno that's been shot looking for help, just crawling around up there. I don't know if it's any real concern. I don't know.
Is it?
Hold it. One more thing for Mr.
I don't think it was our doctor.
Vadim,
Sure.
come over here. Real
Yeah, I'll
quick.
send Joseph up there.
Come on, Mr. Flint.
Hey,
Joseph.
Hey, Doc. Come
Yeah,
over here.
some guy up in
Vadim?
Cherno has been shot by the hospital. You might want to go help him. He needs more.
Alright. Bring us to him. Bring us to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not gonna go.
Doctor's name or...
All right, Mr. Flint, Smith, and Vadim, follow me. We're gonna have a bit of a meeting.
All right.
Yeah, Fox. Walker's looking for you.
Yeah, it's before you start the emergency meeting. I don't know what's going on, but I was gonna ask if we could get a blue raincoat and give it to the medic. Anybody in the medical field can be easily accessed. That was a suggestion. Anyways,
This sounds
go
good.
on.
This right here is, as you can see, is our newest recruit, Mr. Murdoch Flint. Flint Stock, was it Flint? Just Flint?
Just Flint.
All right. He's so far done, this is your second run to Palomar?
Yes, sir.
And he's done a very good job. He's been very quick about it. I believe he's going to be a good asset. I want to know what you boys think as well.
Make quick.
I
like.
Yeah, I like him too.
My
I've
exes
only
didn't
seen
seem to
him in...
think so.
Who?
Well, sometimes it's disappointing. It's okay.
Who?
Still
My
hits
exes
it.
didn't seem to think so.
Max?
Me being quick.
Exes. His exes. Isn't
Oh,
he
your
had
ex.
sex,
Okay,
but he
all
was
right, that
too
was
quick.
sexual.
Oh,
I got
Jesus,
it. I got it. Shut the
Wait,
fuck
he's
up. I
dead,
got
man.
it. Hey, seek up God damn. All right. I
Anyway,
firmly
back to
agree.
business.
I firmly agree that you should be. In fact, we might have to do something for dispatching, like white's a neutral color. Something. We got to get runners on a specific color. Everyone needs an armband so we can signify
I prefer
where
runners. I prefer runners not to have armbands because
All right.
they're on the
it's like
road.
scavengers,
It
yeah.
might cause
Yeah, I would
attention.
prefer not to have an armband.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
that's
what
much
it means is
too
that
valid
much trouble.
defense.
yeah,
It's
we just
just-
have to make sure that he is known and what he wears, he doesn't fucking change. That way our guards don't fucking see
Exactly.
him in the middle of
You
the night,
cannot
take around and
change
shoot his ass.
your identity unless you're outside of the gate, but unless you're outside of our homeland. All right.
All
Just
right.
keep it similar around here so we can have a connotation of semblance. Otherwise, it's gonna fall to shit, and anyone can say they're a runner. It's gonna be something we're gonna have to crack down on eventually. I can already feel it
Well,
in
so
my
far,
aching
we have
loins.
one runner. That's it. You are Flint, one runner. You have two scavengers, Jamal and Tomsey. Simple. Don't... that's it. 3.
Yeah, so we have 3 pretty much neutral-based positions. I like it, but keep working your way up. It'll be fine.
Alright.
I'm pro for you. I truly wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors, and I want you here.
All right.
I think
noted.
I
Thank you.
think we need you to prove yourself one more time before we give you the codes to the gates and so on. But I think you're getting there pretty quickly, and I think you're doing a very good job, Mr. Flint.
All right.
And may I say one thing? Vadim, once you do your last job until you prove yourself, your last proven job, Mr. Waycrest, fucking words. Mr. Waycrest, could you actually ask, I think you should ask Vadim to sort everybody out. So when he becomes an actual runner and he's involved and knows the codes, people aren't going to harass him. I feel like that would make a little more sense. Once he finishes a job, Vadim can go acknowledge it. Make sure people don't bother with him. He has a lot of shit he needs to do.
Very good.
I'll describe him to the others. Yeah, I'll handle security. I need to talk to them right now anyway.
Sounds good.
Hope they didn't leave with that damn doctor yet.
All right. So what happened with the shooting? What's going on with that? Oh, for fuck's sake.
One more thing, Mr. Flint. When you were
out of here.
When you were up there,
conversation private.
You can be here if you like.
All right.
When you were up there, was Mr. J or any of the associates around besides Wilson?
It was just Wilson.
All right. If you're up there, if I send you on a mission and you're up there, let Jay know there is good fishing in the military in the prison island. That's the first one you let him know. If you're up the next time, let Jay know. Mr. Waycrest says there's good fishing in the military or the prison island. Prison island.
All right.
You should know what that means.
Say it one more time back to us. I know we trust you.
Say to Jay that there's good fishing at the prison island.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
And
I just
only Jay? Nobody else?
I would go with only Jay. So far, he's contracted out people. I don't know if Wilson's quite aware of the contract itself, but I believe Jay is aware of it.
All right.
That's it. For now, you may take your break or whatever you like to do. Get comfortable. Are you hungry? Do you need any food or water? I know it's been quite the journey.
I could use a little bit of food. I was looking to maybe like turn one of the sheds out there into somewhere to put some things or something like that.
Yes, you're more than welcome to do
that. Yeah, you absolutely more than welcome. But if you do your one last proven run, you'll have the pick of the litter. So,
all right.
I mean, it's up to you. It's up to you. I don't want to put anything in any words in anyone's mouth. So if you want your own little building, that's absolutely fine. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We're just saying, once the invitation's open, you're family here, and you're more than entitled to anything you want anywhere over here. As long as you ask the right people, you'll get it. We're family here.
Sounds perfect.
Very good. That's it, Mr. Flint. I believe business as usual then. I'll have a task for you shortly, I believe.
Sorry, what was that last bit? I kind of went a little deaf there.
I'll have a new mission for you shortly.
All right. All right.
All right. I'm gonna go. Okay, so what's going on, Max? Give us a rundown. What's going on?
For what?
Who is that?
In what regard? Hold on.
I'd like to trade.
So, Mr. Waycrest, remember that doctor we met in Steroy?
Yes, yes.
Serious.
Mr. Waycrest, wonderful!
I would like you to detain that man, please.
Yep, I figured.
Detain me?
Hands up, sir.
Hands up now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just
all right,
you might want to listen to security, nothing personal.
No problems.
Hey, the less problems, the better the outcome.
Now, Mr. Smith, let me get you up to speed on this one. There was a doctor a couple of days ago on the way to Novi Sabor who was trying to cause conflict between my group and our friends by saying that he was being hunted by us, and then he was trying to get other people to fight us to the situation. Luckily for that, I was well known and nobody came to fight me. They all told him to fuck off, but he's a dangerous man.
So this was the man. What was his name?
I didn't get his name, but he was a crazy doctor on the road, and we found bodies along the way from the path we met him, and he had followed us throughout the Novi Sabor.
So, was that a similar voice, the gruff, deep voice, or did he have a different pitch? We got to make sure this isn't someone we're just going to kill outright. We got to make sure it's the right person.
Yes, that's why I'm going to That's why I'm going to interrogate him, because he sounds exactly like the man we met, and he was the same doctor in the area. I'm pretty sure. The coincidences are too similar on the same road from Story to Novi to Electro. Take this man inside. We're talking inside.
Stand up now.
Alright, good. Stand up.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Fox,
nothing
do the talking.
personal,
Mr.
kid.
Waycross.
It's
There's no
business.
overlap.
That building over there.
Yes, it's,
I did come here to
out there.
speak to
yes,
Mr.
but he's
Waycross.
this one right here.
Well, you'll
Walker, you
get
wanna hang
to
here
talk
too?
to him. I wouldn't worry too hard about that, but it's under the
That way we don't have
circumstances
to-
and
I'll
what
stay
you
here with you, please,
provided.
no. Too many.
I have no idea what's going on. I just figure this is for your safety and mine.
Well, if it's gonna be a matter of safety, we'll let you talk, and if it's important enough, we'll figure it out. But there's also a few things that need to be established and understood. There's some things going on with you, big guy, that I've been told. So
what's the
let's
code
just
in
let.
We're going
With
here.
me? No,
But,
not no.
I'll,
Do me a
we'll
favor
get
and
there,
grab me a
all
pair
right?
of brass knuckles.
I can.
Where would that be?
I should be in one of the chests, unless someone has one. In this way, Doctor.
I'll open it.
I want you against that pillar right there.
Right here?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay.
Uncuff him.
All right.
If he tries, first unarm him and uncuff him. If he tries to run, you will be shot, Doctor. Do you understand?
Yes, I have no qualms with nobody. I have no reason. I'm fearing for my life right now is all.
All right. So let's just introspectively take a look and listen to what he has to say before we start, making business happen.
Yes.
It might be all right. So let's not
Go ahead
jump
and
to
stand up.
physical conclusions. All right. We got to be level-headed. This isn't our first rodeo, but we can't, I'll just watch.
Understand?
One of the boys should have a key. I gave my keys to one of the guys around here.
I got
All
it.
right. We need
I got it.
okay,
I have a
Max
lockpick.
has a handcuff key. All right. Should I get security out here?
Yes, we need more than
One outside the door.
Yes, we need more security. I don't know where they all went. All right, Mr. Doctor, you should turn around. I believe your name was Gene Poole, if I am correct.
Yes, Dr. Gene Poole.
Now, Doctor, I believe we've had a very interesting history considering the path to Novi Sabor.
quiet, but it's
You were on
outside
the
this gate
road
right here.
antagonizing my men. Am I not?
Never antagonized
Outside the
anybody.
gate.
Yep.
We actually offered sanctuary to some of your men and food. Another time, we were at Novi around the trading area and saw a couple cars coming our way. We tried to hitch a ride. That didn't work. It's about all the interactions I've had with you guys.
We're gonna need Vadim because he was part of this situation. He actually shot the
right.
doctor with a beanbag. Here we are. Vadim.
Mr. Waycross.
Yes.
Here's your instrument.
Thank you. We may not need it, so.
Alright. Yeah, let's not get carried away. We're gonna ask questions before we shoot second. All right, come on.
All right,
We're
Vadim.
business.
Since you were the one who did most of the spotting of him, if you'd like to do a bit of the talking, please.
So, I remember our conversation last time.
Which one? I'm sorry, I talked to many people.
Do you remember when you were crawling around in the field spying on us?
No. I have no idea what you're talking about. Where would that have been?
Now, Vadim, is his voice similar? We have to have some vocal signifiers, or we have to have something. Yeah, there's a lot of weird people out there.
There are. I can tell you my history if you want to know my history.
Well, I just want Vadim to verify if you're the voice,
think
alright?
it's
We're
him.
trying to use logic.
No,
You
I
do?
don't think it's him.
You don't think it's
No,
him?
it's
You
not.
don't?
I don't think you can go off voices. I mean, I do have my Pacific Midwestern accent mixed in with a little bit of Missouri.
I don't
Hey,
need your
hey,
life story. I'm trying to make sure you don't get killed, alright?
Oh, wonderful. That's all I'm trying to do.
Alright, so Vadim, you can
what's
hear a
happening?
person a mile away, and if you don't like them, you can remember their voice. It's just something in the human nature. So, let's ask... What? going on? Anyways, so next thing we're gonna ask you is, yeah, give us a rundown and tell us something important.
Well, let's see.
Tell us who
The
you
only
are
important-
and tell us why you came here. All right?
My name is Dr. Gene Poole. I live with my family up in New Eden. You guys call it Storoy. I came down here to get away from father because we had a little tiff, and I wanted to do some trading. I decided I don't want to go non-lethal if I have to protect myself from people. So I thought, well, how about a shotgun and some bean bags? That way I don't have to kill anybody. And the most important thing I've done was save a life in Novi trading post. Somebody was being beat to death by zombies under a tree, and I was the only one that saw him. I saved his life. That's the most important thing I think I've done. Helped somebody today.
Right.
Tried to remember who he was. That was it.
All right, so there's some positive, reputable things about you, but what about the weird things we've been hearing about this family and the father? I've been getting told left and right that you guys are a bunch of nutballs.
I don't know about all that. To each their own. I know that father, he's not the best with the English, if you know what I mean. So sometimes he gets a bit confused and speaks, backwards, I guess. He likes attention, I can tell you that.
Okay, he's a megalomaniac, most leaders
I
are
wouldn't say
pretty
that.
much
No.
Sociopaths that believe in themselves and visions of grandeur. We all do that. CEOs exclusively.
He might have a little bit of that, yes. I've diagnosed a bit of that, yes. But I do owe him, quite a bit. He saved my life. So,
I have some questions
I'm fairly
before we
loyal
get
to
too
him.
far into this. Now, Mr. Gene Poole. Gene Poole, have you traveled the roads between Electro, Story, and Novi Sabor in the past, haven't you?
Novi, yes, and we live on the road between Electro and Novi, so I haven't been over to Starry or anything like that, or this is pretty much the area I stick to, and down here to Cherno.
I remember you were looking for, last time we met, I believe you were looking for fertile women. Is that true?
No, not me, no. We have no... The only person I've ever even thought of was Katie at the trading post. She was talking about, we got to procreate sometime. I threw my hat into the little circle there, saying, if you do that, make sure he's smart. It's the only time I've talked about procreation.
All right, have you, do you know any other doctors out there on the road, Mr. Gene Poole?
I've only met one other doctor over there at the chapel in Electro, up at the church. My first night, before I even found my family. They let me sleep on the bench overnight, and she gave me some supplies. It was a female. And sent me on my way the next day.
Yes, Mr. Smith.
Yeah, how about we broaden this, because he's going to answer it directly. So how about this? You find any other people wearing white talking weird? How about that?
There has been one man. He did talk weird. I think it's a speech impediment. His name is Mr. White or something like that. I've met him once or twice, I think. And then you kind of sound like what's that guy from that old TV show? He's a big fella.
Hey, we're not here about me, all right? We're not here.
Well, you asked about people in white. That's all I'm saying. And then
I'm
there's
not
myself.
wearing all white. All right. Enough semantics.
Yes, we know who Mr.
Jerking each other
we know who Mr. White is. Is he still alive out there by any chance, Mr. Gene Poole?
Well, the last time I saw him was about 3, good calendar days ago. So I'm not really sure. He was alive and well then.
If you don't mind me asking.
He had 2 people with him at the time.
Where does he usually travel, if you don't mind me asking?
Can't allow anyone we don't know.
Well, he says he's nomadic,
I'll
but
come
we've
out.
welcomed
Hey, stay
him
over
to
at the
build a house in our town.
Right, boss.
Okay.
All right.
Hey.
All right, stand up. Put your hands down. I believe you, Mr. Dr. Gene Poole. I am sorry for the misunderstanding. As you can see, I believe.
I completely understand. My heart is racing.
You want
so
me,
fast.
Mr. Smith?
Stand up. I believe that there's a man out there who dresses very similar to you, and unfortunately your paths had been on the very same road that same day, and they were both doctors, and the coincidences were almost too close and identical. This is why I've mistaken you, Mr. Gene Poole, for the man I was looking for.
I understand. It happens, especially when there's not a lot of doctors around. It can only be, limited to a certain number.
Yes, I'm very glad that we could come to a understanding here, and hopefully you understand the reason why we had to do this. We don't like.
Oh, of course. I totally understand. I believe better safe than sorry.
You may take your things back.
Your stuff's right there. I don't know who has your gun. I don't have it. I just took your knife, your lockpick, and your handcuffs.
Wonderful. Well,
Hey, I
let's
gotta take a
see.
quick shut-eye. Take door, please.
Yep.
All right, Mr. Jean Poole, perhaps I can get you a drink or something to eat as an apology for the way we've treated you. I'm sure those handcuffs were very tight.
Yes, there were. Oh, no. Did somebody get... Oh, no. Oh, no.
What?
What?
I think... Oh, no, it was on my belt. Never mind. Somebody got to my belt. Okay. Yes. Okay, I'm sorry. Somebody got to my belt with my holster and my pistol. The shotgun had nothing in it. I was actually coming here to see if you're doing any trading like you said you would be, possibly.
I'll see if we get your guns back to you. Like I said, of course, the rules are do not bring your guns out inside the compound, or else you will most likely be shot down
Yes,
and
sir.
dead.
I was a doctor and not to shoot
We got
me.
Vadim on another
And,
character. It's just
he asked
semantics.
me
You don't have to
question,
worry
and
about
then
it.
And then he shot me.
That's what he told
Mr. Smith, can you
How do you-
get this man's weaponry back to him?
Shot him twice in the back and one in the head.
Who took his
I had a
weapon?
silenced FX pistol.
So
All
that's
right.
the guy
And,
that got
the
shot
empty
right
shotgun.
there. I'm staring at.
Yeah.
All right,
there,
I got all
Vadim.
your stuff in here, Beth.
All right,
Wonderful,
come over
thank you.
with me.
Hey, what's up?
Sorry.
Oh, medical. Oh,
Hey, Vadim.
wow.
Oh,
This is
it's
nice. You look very good.
Oh.
Hold on a second.
Thanks.
boys.
Are you
got
full
three
doctor?
people.
You're the one who got shot.
Surgeon.
Orderly?
Not really.
Yeah.
Nice.
Describe to me what kind of gear he was wearing. Any military gear? Black, like
It was
Any of you hear me?
black. He looked.
Nod your head.
Yeah.
You can hear.
There you go, Vadim. I can hear you now.
So he looked like the type of military person.
Yeah, he
I
looked
guess I'm
kind
making a
of,
big
I guess,
headache.
like you,
Okay.
if it was all black.
Did he have a Russian accent?
Yes, yes.
That would be Christoph.
We know
then.
exactly who that is. We know exactly who that is.
Why did he try robbing you or something? Why did he shoot you?
No, he didn't try robbing me. He just he made me tie myself up with duct tape. I told him I was a doctor and not to shoot, and then he just asked me a question, and I guess he didn't like the answer because he just shot me right then. But we barely
What
even
happened
talked.
to
Like
What was your answer?
he was just trying to interrogate me about being a doctor, and I was, I had what I'm wearing now. I'm not.
Okay.
Look, I'll be honest. I'm not really a doctor. I just it was a
I
warm
need
coat
plus
and
one who knows some combinations.
Ah, so you lied
I'm gonna grab some
Okay,
supplies
one more
for that.
question. Did he mention anything about the asylum?
Thanks, Vadim.
Anything?
no,
What
like
happened to the
like
doctor? Okay,
the
hey,
whole
black
the whole
out, like you
thing
said.
took like 30 seconds. They came up. They made me tie myself up.
They.
I said I was a.
How many people?
There were two. I only saw one, but there were two at least.
There were two at
And
least.
This is a goodbye.
yeah, because I was in
Go
like
ahead and
a
help out with
giant
press.
tower, and I was coming down the windy staircase, and
Yeah.
they called up to me from below, and so I only saw the one.
Okay.
But yeah, he asked me a question, a doctor question, I guess, and I
Yeah,
got
yeah.
it wrong, and so he just
Mhm.
killed me on the spot.
So you said
Wait,
you
what?
saw one,
How
but you
did-
didn't see two.
He killed you.
But he shot me. He the first shot bounced off my helmet, and so he put two in my back and left me there to die, basically. I woke up and pretty much everything I was wearing was gone, and I thought I would be dead before I got back here, but thankfully I ran into the right people, I guess.
Unfortunately, we don't deal with this kind of matters. It sounds quite personal. We're only here for entertainment and trade purposes. Pardon, what's your name?
It's Sai.
Sorry. Unfortunately, it's none of our business, but if you need to use the clinic and see a doctor, you're more than welcome to, of course. But my security team
Well,
is...
if you want to buy a gun,
Yes.